Now we're going to take a look at replacing our LCD unit. Our LCD unit is held in by two brackets. First, we're going to remove the bottom bracket. The bottom bracket also holds the black inverter to it. And the black inverter gives light to the screen. We have to be careful of this part, that we don't hurt anything, and when we start to remove it, we need to remove it gently. You can see that it's plugged in, so very firmly grab the plugs evenly and start to unplug it. And we'll rest the inverter and its bracket over to the side where it can't get hurt. Next, we're going to lift up on the A board the black lock and remove the flexible cable and the green flexible cable. And now we'll remove the top bracket that holds the LCD to the top of the front panel. There are two screws here as well. And then remove the bracket, and you can lift your LCD out. You can see our flexible cables, and we have to make sure it sits in the front panel nicely. Now when replacing it, double check the area. It's usually a good idea to have something soft underneath so we don't scratch the new LCD. And we're going to place it into position. Make sure the wires are not underneath it, because this way it would show once you put it back together. Or you could pinch the wires and poof, get some smoke and blow up the boards. So make sure it's seated nicely. And take your bracket, and your bracket will help you seat it nicely because it will put it into position somewhat. And take the two screws and start to replace them into the front or the top bracket. Now we're going to take our bracket with the inverter attached, and we're going to start to place it into position. First, put the plug in. Be careful of the flexible cables that they don't get caught underneath. And once you get it locked in position, you can put the two screws that hold it into the panel. Now, it's usually a good idea when you are putting the brackets back in to kind of hold it firmly against the LCD. You don't want it in there loosely, because then if you were to look at the front, the LCD would move around. Now we're going to take our white flexible cable with the blue strip, make sure the black locking tab is up, and slide it in gently. And we push down on the black locking clip evenly. And we can take the green flexible cable and put it back into its connection spot as well. Now it's a good idea to check the front of the LCD. Make sure there's no scratches and make sure that it can't move left to right. And now we are done with the LCD.